let me say a hearty good morning to one and all. Welcome to another edition of To The Point. Today being Tuesday, the 21st day of February. How's everybody doing? Hope all is well. You up, feeling good? You've been tuning into GBN all morning. Where it was via classic radio. Yeah, on your radio at your home. Yeah, that transistor radio that you have. Or whatever you listening device you may have chosen to listen to via. Good morning to you. Those of you via GBN TV, also good morning. Our social media platforms, good morning, whether it's the Facebook page, good morning, the YouTube channel. Good morning, those of you listening and viewing via the GBN webpage, gbn.gd. Welcome, good morning. GT with you once again. And I want to wish everyone a great day thus far. Well, on Tuesdays, we usually entertain a member of the opposition. And no one is in for this morning for whatever reason. We would not have anyone representing this morning. So we're going to, of course, switch the program into an open line segment this morning, which means you have the option of calling in, sharing your views, your concerns this morning. Lots been in the buzz for the last couple of days from last week. And, even though it's just Tuesday, there's always something in the buzz in Grenada that you may like to chime in on. I certainly will give you the opportunity to do so. The telephone number, 435-2041, 435-2041. So we're here for the next hour, and certainly I encourage you to give me that call. The number once again, 435-2041, and I see we do already have our first caller. Let's go to the phone line and say good morning. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, GT, and how you do?
I'm doing fine.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was really good also, I would say.
All right. GT, on my way this morning to here, on the road, I always listen to Innocent program. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, most of the time, I don't get here early enough to respond to his program. And somebody was talking about the farmers with the price of the cocoa, and they was hitting on the 150 and something like that.
All right.
The marketing board was also touched on. But what I want the senior citizens of Grenada to understand, putting some of them, their mind already set on one thing and you can't turn it. That is not the NDC administration with the Prime Minister, the Honorable Dickon Mitchell, that remove or take away any 150. The 150 documented in the social department that it was a temporary something after election, which the past administration believed they'd have win, and they would have just removed it and say, look, it was 6 months. So but either way, the Prime Minister, this Honorable Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, will put some $200 on the senior citizen they deserve it.
You have concrete facts about that? Going to happen?
Well, my gut feeling tell me that.
Okay, you have some of the feeling. Mm-hmm.
Because when you look at the condition of the senior citizen living in Grenada, mm-hmm. that sometimes when I speak, people say, where is this money coming from? And I have a problem with that question. Because where is those money coming from to do everything else? Where was the $2,000 came from to put an increase or to give them the ministers a decent salary? No, I'm not opposing it. I'm not opposing it. I'm for it. Mm-hmm. But I'm also for more so the seniors. What is that $200? Look the somebody from the slave people was generous enough to offer some money. The Prime Minister is in charge. Utilize that money to help the senior citizen. Now, every politicians come to Grenada. In Grenada, they talk about they come to help the poor. And when the better living about the poor, from Uncle Gary come down, and even H.A. Blaze come down, and they come to your house, they ask you, they see your condition, they bow their face when they come for the vote. You give them the vote, They leave you, they turn billionaire, they retire, big pension, and they leave you in the S where they meet you, and they never turn back. You make a promise. Now, this administration is not not responsible for the poverty and the depths of the poverty that the senior citizens facing today. It's a past administration and pass. But unfortunately, the Honorable Prime Minister had to shoulder the burden. He had to strike the rock. Because, look, the farmers, what the guy said this morning, he's very correct. So who to do it? The past administration, they didn't care. They really didn't care, and still trying to separate and divide the people by saying 150. Look at the marketing board. They're talking about the marketing board. Minister David shouldn't speak at all because he was the Minister of Agriculture. What did he do? We don't know. So if we don't know, we have to say we don't know.
Right.
And this government didn't raise up the debt and the this and the that. They're trying. But they have to try more and put more eggs and put more emphasis on the poor people, because it's the poor people that put our ministers of government there. Take them out. Leave them there with big pension.
Thank you so much,
Anyway,
caller. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so
time.
much. Have a good morning. 435-2041, 435. It's an open line edition this morning. Let me say good morning to my those of you via the Facebook page. Let's say good morning to Kathleen. Let's say good morning to Annette, Suzette, Monica, Kathleen. All of you on the Facebook page chiming in and say good morning. I want to thank you so much for being up on it this morning. Let's go to the phone line, entertain another caller. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, and how are you this morning?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm good.
All right.
One thing I would like the relevant authorities to see what they can do for the persons who pass around in their vehicles and purchase soursop from young guys. We have a problem in Bellevue in St. George's. You cannot have a soursop on your tree in your property because there are some guys that peruse your property at night. They collect the soursop during the morning and they sell it during the day for specific persons who come on van and purchase it. It's a big problem we have. Nobody in Bellevue can have a soursop on their tree. Could the relevant authorities please do a survey, interview persons, because we need this.
But you know, there's a pretty larceny task force out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the police could talk to them. Probably they could make some arrangement, come to the area and get more information.
And I do hope that they're listening.
I hope they are listening and they could look into that.
Because we have senior citizens that works in their garden. You know these people, when they're accustomed with something, they wouldn't want to give it up. And they can't get a soursop on their tree, much less the yam in their garden.
All right.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right. Have a great day yourself. 52041, 435-2041. And hope the folks in the Royal Police Force, whatever department, or the Pretty Elastic Task Force, they could probably go to that area, as the caller did mention, and get some more information and see how they could curb that problem. I know it's a serious problem, really, in terms of pretty larceny, where folks just go into people's property and, wow, man. I don't like folks who takes people's stuff without asking for it. You know what I mean? Good morning to you, caller. Welcome.
Mr. Tellisford, good morning.
I want to wish good morning to you also.
Mr. Tellisford, I've been listening to some callers on a radio station talking about the Haitians that were sent back. And what they are saying, the Prime Minister sent back the Haitians, he should have a heart. But he does have a heart, but I don't know if the Prime Minister is or was an immigration officer. People must be honest with what they say. The Prime Minister has nothing to do with sending back the Haitians. You know, they just want to say nasty things.
You cannot, caller, you cannot fully say that he has nothing to it. Remember, he's the Minister of National Security also. So
I'm not hearing you very low.
I am saying you cannot totally say that he's have nothing to do with it. You understand? Because he's also the Minister of National Security.
But he was not in Grenada.
Yes, he was in Grenada.
He was not there, and he did not see the Haitians. They were sent back immediately, or they were
okay, caller.
Okay. The Prime Minister did not send back the Haitians. Okay?
All right.
Have a good day.
You too, caller. Have a good day yourself. 435-2041, 435-2041. I wonder why she wasn't hearing me properly. I'm not sure. 435-2041 is an open line edition of To The Point this morning. We taking your calls. You probably have a bit of a concern that you want to speak about. And so let's take a little caller. Good morning to you, caller. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yes, sir. As far as I'm concerned, we in Grenada must analyze what we have to say before we say what we are saying. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Canada intends to import mangoes or start importing again, or the people in Canada or the importers. Now, I look at it. Some people are telling us that we should plant more mangoes. Now, I would say we have enough mangoes or mango trees in Grenada that are producing mangoes, and we have enough to export. What I would tend to say is to diversify our economy so that when we have disease or when some country or countries stop buy our product, we could be able to, we should be able to supply other commodities to keep us going. If we depend on one or two products, we would likely to be in jeopardy as soon as we have a glut or a disease or a pest. Now, this is very, very important. It's not what we say and what we want. It is what is best for us. At the same time, too, people are condemning and saying things about him, our local prime minister. He must move with the people. He must associate with the people. How come some people could say such? I wanted to use a word, something like that. Bear in mind, when your Uncle Gary and our Uncle Gary went into being, he loved the people and he ate with the people. He loved them up. He go around them, and that is why he was successful. I think all the others did the similar things. Associate with the people. In fact, look at, I don't even want to say that. If you do not associate, you pastor do not associate with the people, what would they say about you? The man showing up, he don't have love. So you must mix with the people if you want to be a prime minister, if you want to be loved. So people, watch your mouth when you are saying things. Thank you very much. I have more to say, though.
Have a good morning, caller. Thank you so much.
Nation need love.
Thank you so much.
And they must get together in the Caribbean to help the Haitians. Look at Canada or other countries intend to help them. So this is what we have to do. We have to speak on their behalf and let them get help. We were helped during the days when we had crises as hurricane, and you would say, I shouldn't say storm, but hurricane and a storm might be different and are different. So you need help, others need help. Get together and help them. That's what I have to say.
Thank you, caller. Have a good morning. 435-2041, 435-2041. It's the open line edition of To The Point for today, Tuesday, the 21st day of February. Let's take another caller. We're scheduled for a break, but let's take this caller and we'll take a break after this caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Morning. You know, a promise is a fool. When I say a promise is a comfort to a fool, I want to talk about, okay, you remember the 150. Mm-hmm. The government did go because Gloria, the lady Senator Gloria, she did go in Parliament and say that they will continue the $150. Now, I find that you know jolly well that you didn't budget for it. The last government didn't budget for it, and you didn't budget for it. But you go in and tell people you're going to continue the 150. When no, to me, that's a lying. You're a liar, and people just don't want to understand it because watch. All these politicians seems to be the same in the whole world. You get away from one set of thing, You condemn those before, and what you come and do, you do worse as far as I see what's going on now. Right? I'm saying that you should give them back the $150. Probably you should just put a little $50 on it. But the bottom line is this: you did promise the people, knowing fully well in advance that you can't afford. I mean, to me, that is lying. Then apart from that, the 290,000 US that they talk about, I ain't even going into that. The goodly gentleman came and said that they had the cabinet conclusion. Up to now, months after, he cannot produce the cabinet conclusion. What does he bring? A receipt for 150 and a receipt for 140. They ain't telling me nothing. They go to do different accounts. And the 140 is campaign for the other people. No problem. Grenada had no laws against campaign, so people could give. But I don't know that the two is connected. But I'm calling them and saying, give, let us see the cabinet conclusion for 290,000 that you talk about. And whoever takes the taxpayers' money, because people say it's government money and property, it is that money belongs to the people, almost 900,000. Whoever take that money and send it across to a political party, jail them. But you come out and make big statements, you can't prove it. So what you expect people to accuse of lying, just like the rest, lying. I mean, why these people never to lie so? 6 or 1 half a dozen or the other. So I am saying to you that I think that, because I'm finished with that 290, because it's my money. And if people want to call me 290 or 150,000, let them call me better. They call me that, then I'm a deceiver. They call me a deceiver, a blatant, bold-faced liar. I cannot be trusted. Because people don't understand this is taxpayers' money, not his personal money. And people saying about our cabinet conclusion is secret. What is secret about the people's business? We have entrusted you, voted you to conduct the nation's business on our behalf. And we have a right to know that cabinet conclusion can't be no secrets. You could say a number and what date and so on and what not. It's not your personal business that you can't tell the nation.
Caller, I want to thank you for your contribution. I want to thank you so much. Thanks so much. Thank you so much.
We need to know.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. 435-2041. We're coming right back after the break. Stay with us to the point, the open line edition. Coming right back.
I want you folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily Pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play Pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sunday money day.
Last week on Our Climate Reality.
Climate change is in fact a real phenomenon, and it is already occurring, and we are already beginning to feel the impacts in our region. And those impacts are not just restricted to the physical impacts, more rain, hotter, but it then impacts our quality of life and how we are able to, to really live on a day-to-day basis. And that's the significance of climate change.
We have to understand what our current climate pattern is, and then try to understand how that pattern might change in the future. And of course, the changing climate pattern will force us to shift our lifestyles, or could force us to shift our lifestyles. But let's also remember not just to keep it in a human-centric viewpoint. There's a whole biosphere out there that's going to be impacted. Coral reefs, marine ecosystems, agriculture, chickens, poultry farmers, and most of it is going to have an economic impact.
Join us this Wednesday at 8 p.m. as our panel discuss the opportunities and co-benefits for reducing greenhouse gas emissions. All Climate Reality, GBN Television Channel 7 and 11, K105 FM, and all our social media platforms.
Welcome back, listeners and viewers this morning. If you're via our social media platforms, Facebook, or you're viewing via the YouTube channel, welcome. It's the open line edition this morning here on K105 and GBN TV. Let's go back to the phone line, entertain another caller. Caller, good morning, welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
How are you?
Doing pretty well.
Yes, I want to support one of the last callers, what she talked about the 150 that is removed from the senior citizen and the seed package. I do agree with her, and I just want to see that after they were promised that money, they will continue the payments. But lo and behold, there was no release went out, no information went out, so that the people would know that they will not be getting that money. But lo and behold, when they went there to collect the money, they saw that the money been deducted. And many of them broke in chairs and fell down because, remember, coming from Christmas to January, people make like a debt on it, and they have, commitments, So, I don't like how they're treated as senior citizens who walk their life in building this country, and because of the status in life and the low income bracket, people have to come out and say all kind of negative things about these people. But we have to remember that they are seniors who walk. They are forefathers who walk to help build this country. And not only that, the students, because SEED is support for education, empowerment, development, and it's for needy school children who has to go maybe to MCC or wherever, and to cut the 150, if they're getting $200, they cut the 150, they're left with $50. So I am, making that clarion call to the government, try the best to put that money back. And information is necessary. We're not hearing any press conferences. We're not hearing and should be to inform people. And then when the things out, they're talking about leakages. But the best thing, come out, inform the nation, let the media, the journalists ask questions on behalf of the people. And also, I want to close by saying that I'm in sympathy with all the women, or the people who lost their jobs, who've been sent home, who've been fired, and particularly all women. Because when they gone to the unemployed army, there is a lot of ills in the society, prostitution, drug addiction, and all issues, abuses, and so forth. So I'm calling on Gino, and I'm calling on all the women's organizations or sisters to stand firm and advocate and call for good faith and sense prevail in employing and keeping the stability, economic stability, and independence in the home. And as we celebrate March 8th coming up, let us all call for international solidarity, Caribbean solidarity, and support our black sisters in Haiti. And let's say, sorry, Haiti, for what was done. But we love everyone. May God bless you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your contribution. 435-2041, 435-2041. We're taking your calls. It's a open line edition this morning. Share your views, your concern. Pretty soon I'll head over to the Facebook page, see if I can grab some of the comments there. Seems to be a lot been said there for we bet. Go across there shortly. Probably after I take this particular phone.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning to you, caller. Welcome.
Beyond the headlines?
No, this is not Beyond the Headlines.
Sorry, on the program there.
Yes, you're on to the point.
Yes. This thing about, the past government put on the 150 before election. Now, I remember that in the past that it was 150. And I remember in Jocelyn Whiteman days, they moved it from 150 to $300. Right? And that was there for a few years well, and things are going up, cost of living going up, medication going up, and so on. And the past government bring it up to, I think it's 350 and 450, you know, they move it. They put the 150 on, so it moved from where to where to where to where. Right? So this thing they're saying is about they put it on temporary. I can't see how it could have been temporary. Now we have a budget every year. Right? Just as how you had to budget every month for your house and so on. We have a budget every year. So you have to budget for these things, for social services, for medication. Government has to buy medication. You have to budget. Even for increase a salary, you will put in something there. You have to budget for the prisons. You have to budget for the hospital. You know, so I don't understand how they're saying that they budgeted for 1 year. Every year you budget, so it roll over. And that people I think that people don't understand what a budget means. Some people, they need to explain to them what a budget is. They don't understand.
All right, caller. Thank you. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. Have a good morning. 435-2041, 435-2041. Let's grab some of the comments via the Facebook page before we start entertaining some of the calls. Once again, let's go to the Facebook page. Let me say good morning to Ernesto. And he's saying, I happen to... I hope it's him or her. I'm not sure. Ernesto. Well, let's go with it. Anyway, I happen to listen to a few social media shows, including the Bob report concerning the Haitian 15 that was denied entry. Lots of people in the notion that Grenada missed a great opportunity on the humanitarian side. But we have to remember that countries have immigration laws. When one who is not a citizen entering that through the port. I think the immigration officer used the case of a Jamaican woman who had a similar situation in Trinidad and made the judgment call. Plus, the 15 didn't ask for refugee status based on the comments of the head of the immigration. So that's one of the comments there via the comments. Once again, anything that is relevant that is need to be most of what I'm seeing now are just basic conversation each one or two persons are having with each other. Nothing that is worth throwing out more for now. Let's go back to the phone line and take another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Doing pretty well.
George Stone, GT.
How are you doing this morning, man?
I'm okay, man. I'm okay.
Right.
I just want to make a little pitching about the Asian and about a Greener story of mine.
You say George Stone, but I'm not Guyanese, huh? All right.
Yeah, no, I'm just joking with you, man. I'm just thinking because you see GT
right.
and GT is George Stone.
I understand. Go right ahead.
Yeah. What I was saying is, I'm gonna get a little story mixed with the Haitian thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was living in South America, Suriname to exact, and that's during the invasion time.
Mm-hmm.
And because of my granny and so forth, I couldn't hear from them. I decided to come up. When I get to Guyana, they told me no Grenadians can go to Trinidad because my family was from Suriname, Guyana, and Trinidad. They said no Grenadians could go to Trinidad. I said, what about St. Vincent? They said no Grenadians can go to these islands. Now, the only way you could get is to Barbados. So I had to change my ticket, stay 3 weeks in Guyana before I could get to Grenada. Then the other thing is, like, the immigration all over the world have one policy, right? And when I went to Germany, they asked me how many money I had because I had to join my fiancé up there. When I get there now, I only had the money I had. The immigration officer told me that cannot even pay my taxi to get where I'm going. So I have to stay right here, and in 20 minutes, if no one come to meet you, we'll be sending you back down on the next flight.
Mm-hmm.
But this thing in Haiti, you may be young, but I'm an elderly citizen. From since 1916, the 60s, they're fighting among themselves about since in the days of Papa Doc, and they had the Tam-Tam Makouts, they killing prime minister, they killing minister. But somehow, when what was Ivan, all countries decide to help Grenada. So the immigration policy all over the world is the same. Right?
Okay.
So there's no, and I guess you are a big man and you know things. If you check it out, you know that all immigration policy is the same type.
I agree. It doesn't matter whatever part of the world you have. There are certain, there are certain rules that governs when you enter a country. So which you have to be followed. You understand?
Yeah.
So
but these people are fighting among them.
Everyone may have different interpretation of how individuals are handled for various reasons, but I certainly do understand.
But the thing about it, they are fighting among themselves. So what I want to show, and what I'm showing is, when we had our crisis with Ivan, we did get help. A lot of countries help us. I know, but this thing is not. It's a fighting among yourself, and you don't know who you're getting. Sometimes they are the same people might be coming here working and punishing a gang over there, or they kill people, and you cannot time big them checks and balance, and then when you let them into your country like that, there's problems. So we must do some checks and balance before doing these things. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your contribution, caller. Certainly made a whole lot of sense there with your contribution this morning. 445-2041, 445-2041. Let's entertain another caller. Let's go to the phone line. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Telesford. How are you, sir?
Doing pretty well. What about you?
Mr. Telesford, if when you rescue somebody, you're supposed to help them, right?
More or less.
Okay.
Yes, more or less.
Okay. America did rescue us years and years ago when we had the invasion and with Morris Bishop, and so on. Anyway, the thing is that America waived a visa for many countries, and Grenada, which they did rescue, I find they should waiver our visa just the same thing to as a waiver for other countries. Because look, the Bahamian could go in America without a visa. So if they're saying it's because of they don't want to waive a visa for us because of the citizen investment, what they have to do, Grenadian have to have a passport and a birth certificate, which part of Grenada you're born, and then I find they could waive a visa for all Grenadians, not those for the citizen investment one, the Grenadians itself.
Okay.
Right. What do you think? Thank you very much.
Well, certainly hope some consideration could be put into that. It may not be, as he said, or done as you said it. There's a lot of course, red tape that has to go through before a process of that could actually occur. Let's take a break. We're coming back to the Point, the Open Line edition, folks. We're coming right back after the break.
Last week on Our Climate Reality.
Climate change is in fact a real phenomenon, and it is already occurring, and we are already beginning to feel the impacts in our region. And those impacts are not just restricted to the physical impacts, more rain, hotter, but it then impacts our quality of life and how we are able to, to really live on a day-to-day basis. And that's the significance of climate change.
We have to understand what our current climate pattern is, and then try to understand how that pattern might change in the future. And of course, the changing climate pattern will force us to shift our lifestyles, or could force us to shift our lifestyles. But let's also remember not just to keep it in a human-centric viewpoint. There's a whole biosphere out there that's going to be impacted. Coral reefs, marine ecosystems, agriculture, chickens, poultry farmers, and most of it is going to have an economic impact.
Join us this Wednesday at 8 p.m. as our panel discuss the opportunities and co-benefits for reducing greenhouse gas emissions. All Climate Reality, GBN Television Channel 7 and 11, K105 FM, and all our social media platforms.
Mr. mentioned the wing kai, then you have things like man, you must come back, you know. We have the low power there.
It is kind of like the same man, and it's just different name for the same kind of thing.
And last but not least, I just want to say to all the men who saw me, call me, and ask for a piece of cake, I'm baking this weekend.
Join us Fridays at 8 on GBN Television, K105.
Welcome back to the point for today, Tuesday, the 21st day of February, folks. Open line edition this morning. Your phone calls are welcome, 435-2041. Let's go back to the phone line. We lost that caller there. 435-2041. That's the number. If you want to, of course, make a comment or make a contribution in terms of an idea that you may have, or an issue that you may want to speak about, feel free to do so. 435-2041. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. No, all countries have laws to protect their citizens. The laws in the country are in the interest of the citizens. So I hate to hear people saying that countries have the same law. That's a joke. That's a lie. They may have similar law, but similar don't mean the same. It may mean nearly the same, but not the same. So people must understand and look into themselves before they say things that are never and could never be true. This is what we have to do. We're interpreting things and saying things that are wrong. That is why I always say I myself need re-education. But we have some people that want to expound and say things that are not true and educating the people wrongfully. It's also easy to be educated wrongfully, although I'm not fully learned, but I have a little common sense and proper sense. It's time that people get the facts straight before they say things that are not true. In fact, interpretation is a hell of a thing. Some interpret what you say differently. In fact, I'm saying something now, and you may hear people distorting my information. This is why are we calling when we are saying things that people are terminating or saying things that are not true, what people have said. Interpret and understand. You don't even have to interpret. Understanding is more important than interpreting. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your contribution also, caller. Thank you very much. 435-2041. Yeah, phone calls are welcome. Let's grab some comments before we take another call. Good morning, GT. Most recipients of the $150 saying the government is wicked for removing it. But they're not wicked. When all they want is to, of course, gamble, drink, and smoke. Households are given money to support their children, and they're not even sending them to school or buying food for them to eat. They prefer to take the money and go, of course, go sit in the blast, whatever that means. It's a sad state we're living, very sad state. And that's from someone there via the WhatsApp this morning. Let me see another WhatsApp comment. Grenadians are complaining about the money the government took away from the needy. Yet some of them are saying that we should have accepted the Haitians. Where the money coming from? Deprive the needy? Some more. I guess I understand where that individual making that comment is coming from. Good morning to you, caller. Welcome.
Hi, good morning, GT.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Right. GT, I want to agree with that last caller, the statement. Mm-hmm. And I just hope those who crying and sorry for the old people so much could assist them, the younger set today, and ask them to ease up a little and drinking the beers because they will come in the same situation where they cry. The old people are crying for now because God give all of us ability. You have some people, they born, they can't think for themselves, they may have a disability. You look out for these people. But when you see young people that could walk and own and get in and like that, it's sad we heart. And for people to agree for these young people and them to just sit down home, receive money, and happy for that is a shame. And I want to applaud this young set of people who choose to represent the country with dignity and class. They could have been in the bars too. Look at a lady crying now this morning for the source. She saw us of the thieving. They could have been source of thief too. But they said, no, let them represent the country. So we as big people, let us pray for these people and them and hold their head, hold their hand high. Who don't lie? You know what lie we lie growing up as young people? But now we want this group of young people to be perfect. GT, let me tell you something. For the Christmas, I visit a family home. And I see they have a stove. 3 burner do lighting, 1 burner they have children in the house. You know, I don't tell them nothing. You know what I did? I go by the porcelain and I ask them to give me a choice. They say, go and look for the stove you want. When I go wrong, I see one for $1,700. My name is Rita Christopher. They could go and find out by porcelain how much I owe them and what I owe them for. I take the fridge. They tell me I have to pay $600. The stove, I have to pay $600. I give them the $600 and they tell me I have to pay $150 every month. And I'm paying for that person. So you love these old people. Don't let the pressure go up. Don't let them sick. If a woman take out $150, you could give them the $150 and ease up some stress. Sometimes you could give them for 5 times the pressure going on normal, and you would raise. So help the people too. What's going on with us in this country? Go on and see people in the community and help them instead of coming every morning and crying about $150. That don't help in the pressure, you know, because you don't help in them to bring down the pressure. Come on, Grenadian, stop that.
All right, thank you so
darling.
much. And I know folks are very, very happy to hear that there goes a good deed that you have performed, and certainly hope there are more individuals like you who will be able to do such. You know, just go out and offer that assistance. Folks will certainly appreciate it. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Yeah, morning. Thanks for taking my call. A word of caution to the drivers, the motorists on the Windsor Forest Road. Now, there was a bit of iron that was placed by the past administration over a whole. I believe, yes, the past administration, because by the time I realized it was there, it was before the election. And that bit of iron that was placed there, it has been shifted, maybe because of a truck or so that just passed on it a while ago. And so there's this opening, this hole. So I want the motorists, the private owners, the bus owners, the whatnot, etc., the people, you know, flying on that route, to be very careful when they get to that corner, you know, because it's almost like on a corner.
Okay.
And then I want to support that last lady that just spoke there, but even though the man before that just the same, you know, because the laws of the island, well, we do have a constitution, and our constitution is, to me, is completely different to most of the other constitutions the world over, you know. I mean, we talk much about democracy, and some of us talk much about where we were, where we go, where we what experience and whatnot. But we act so hypocritical about, you know, what is happening, this new administration that come in, and we're not prepared to actually give them the time to sit down, relax, and enjoy life and to do what they have to do in a positive way. I mean, frankly speaking, I can tell you, my past years of experience on this island here, the NNP administration has created serious setbacks. I mean, when you find a prime minister talking about ungovernable, talking about, you know, the state and poor people, poor and vulnerable. I mean, you see people as poor and vulnerable, and you choosing to keep calling them poor and vulnerable rather than making them like you a rich man, you know, and whatnot. Anyway, have a good day.
You too, sir. Have a good day. 435-2041. 435, the final 15 minutes left on today's program. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning, and you're welcome. Good morning to you, caller.
Hello, good morning, brother. How are you?
Doing pretty well.
That's nice hearing your voice. Mr. Easy, GT, what I want to make, a statement I want to make this morning, I want to get this thing clear, that the whole of Grenada and the world should know. The people who call in and speaking about the 150 that the government took out, if you listen to the Prime Minister himself, he said it was for a time. The ex-Prime Minister said so.
Okay.
Right. But I want them, people who are running them out about the 150, to ask the past government, all the people who buy shares in the electricity and buy shares in the telephone company, why they don't ask the past government, because they try to develop the country and to improve the country, why they don't ask the past government to pay them people, to give them people their share and to give them the money, instead of they quarreling about the 150. Government take Grenadian money when they had the place going in darkness and sell shares to the local Grenadian. They buy. Some get, some don't get. Some big shot get, some don't get. Today nobody don't get it. Right. The telephone company, they sell it, they sell shares in it in cooperative bank. Grenadian buy shares and they never give nobody not a cent up to this day. Why these people don't turn around and tell the government, give the people back the money and pay them for the shares that they say they make them buy? This is what they are talking about, and stop talking about the 150, because people who work hard for the money and invest it, that is what government do to them. Sell them, hush them out and take what they get and hush.
All right, caller, thank you. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's a totally different conversation there. Let's take your phone calls, folks. If you do have an issue that you would like to speak about, feel free to give me that call, 435-2041. And let's take a peek at some of the comments on Facebook this morning. Most of the comments are generalized comments this morning. Folks just chipping in from time to time. And so let's entertain another call. Good morning to you, caller, and welcome.
Good morning, GT, and how are you today?
Doing pretty good, my dear. What about you this morning?
Well, I'm okay too.
All right.
I am a little concerned that people are not understanding that when there's a problem in one country, you should not just board a boat or a plane and run into another country. You will not be accepted. It's happening all over the world. If you listen to BBC News, they're finding the people dead in big trucks, in boats, because there is a process. They should apply for the status, to enter legally into the country. Yeah? As long as you think that you can just run away to another country. We had our share after they killed Maurice Bishop, after they gunned down the people on the fort. A lot of us were scared to death, and a lot of us thought that we could have run away. Well, you know what happened? Trinidad declared that you must get visa. I don't know how people are forgetting that. I had to line up too in the hot sun in Archibald Avenue, in Herbert Prudhomme House. They rented that probably for the embassy. And you had to go there. People were sitting on both sides of the road, all outside, and lining up to get a visa to go to Trinidad. Because there is a process. You can't just leave your country and fly into another country and vex that they're not accepting you. There is a process. You agree?
I agree, 100%.
Right. And this status that people are saying Grenada should give them, people must apply all over the world, and sometimes it takes years, because they do due diligence on the people who are applying.
Exactly.
So I knew of a family who got that status after the revolution, and they went to Canada and they applied for that status, and it took about 3 years before they got it. I knew that. I know them personally. So it's not something automatic. So I believe some of the comments people are making is out of ignorance. They just think that if something is happening in one country, you could just run into a next country. But if you follow the news, Africans, Mexicans, they are getting them on the border. They are getting them in a big truck. They are running away, but they are not accepted like that.
So true,
there's a due
Caller,
process.
you're making a whole lot of sense, and I certainly hope folks who are listening and who are just making comments because of the just be able to make a comment, but certainly understand where you're coming
So
from.
it's not that we are not nice people and we are not kind. There is a process. There's a process because, as one caller said earlier on, you never know who is in that group coming.
Exactly.
So they have to do due process on them to know who we are letting in. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. 435-2041 is the open line edition of To The Point this morning. Let me say good morning once again to all of you folks who are on the Facebook page. Saying good morning to Sonia. Thank you so much. It's been a while. Hope you're doing A-okay this morning. Let's take another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yes.
Caller, would you mind lowering whatever device you have in the background? Because I guess it's sort of throwing you off a bit.
Yes, I must say this administration is doing very well, and they cannot fix everything immediately. But just a little observation at the hospital at Maribor, I think there should be another doctor or a physician assistant at the emergency department. And also concerning the drivers, and we keep hearing about the people who drive under the influence of alcohol and about testing and charging them. But what has been done or put into effect about the people who are taking other substances and driving, okay?
As a thought.
And driving under the influence of alcohol.
Yes. Other substances.
Other substance, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I hope people are not thinking that I'm trying to defend the people who drive under the influence of alcohol, but there are people who are driving under the influence of other substances.
Point taken, caller. Thank you so much.
And just one little thing, before I leave, some of them, people who appear on the television, I think they need to check on those wigs and glasses they are wearing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, caller. 435-2041, 435-2041. I'm not sure where that caller was going there with the wigs and stuff. I'm not too sure. Anyway, good morning. Good morning to you, caller.
Morning, JT. How are you?
I'm doing fine. What about you this morning?
I'm doing a little work here.
You're doing some work.
Listen to the points and so points people making, and so what they want to talk about is God.
All right.
Pray for more help in the world. Not a national day of prayer is not praise. Every day is praying day. You have to pray every day to God. You have to ask Him what your needs. You have to pray for people in the world because people are not praying. That's why so much happening in God's world today. Too much hate, too much evil, too much wrong, too much life taken. The driver's taking lives away from you because they're driving with speed. I go on the road every day and I say, look at them. Why are they speeding like that? The last side of the road, vehicles coming up, they're speeding, they will knock you down. Now, if you don't speed and to reach where you're going to on time, you're going to get there on time if you don't speed. If you knock someone down, maybe not how the speed you're going, the limit, they may not die, but once you speed, you're going to kill them. Taking a life from the world that you didn't give, you don't know how to drive. Don't go on the road and drive. Let us keep praying to God and ask Him to bless us and keep us safe from the way we live in the world. The life we live in is not of God. This is devil, Satan busy.
All right. Thank you so much.
If you want to put on the instrument of Satan, the gun, put it down and pick up the Holy Bible and look in it and you're going to see the right from God. Everybody's talking about everything that says, oh my God. Look at the people in America. Every people they say, oh my God. Everything that says, oh my God. But they're not living for God. They're killing every day. If you put the news on, you're afraid to listen to the news because it's only death. They have to listen to the police officer. They're bunging them off the road and kill them because they don't want them around. And they are the ones that are protecting us and saving our lives from all the accident things we face in the world. When something happens, we call them, they come to help. They risk their lives to save our lives. So we have to pray for them to do it in the right way, that they don't kill people because they come to save people, not to take what we say and to save and to keep them close from what they're facing. When something happens, you're calling the Lord, they're coming to help you. Let us give thanks to God and pray more hard. Talk to Him, take Him into our life. Remember, without Him, we are lost in the world. We are nothing without Jesus. We must pray for the whole world, the good, the bad, the happy, the sad. We are God people, and we have good people. We have sad people are suffering. They can't get no help from in the world because they can't get any things that they need in life. Nobody helping nobody. We have to help one another. We have to pray more hard and talk to God. He's our everything. I live in God, JT is a praying person I am because in the morning you sleep and I pray.
All right.
And I pray for the whole world, everyone to live their life for God and accept Him today. Don't wait for tomorrow might be too late.
And I want them to know again one more thing I tell you, JT. Hell is real, and heaven is more real. So if you want to go to hell, you go commit a crime and go to hell. And if you don't want to go to hell, pray to God and go to heaven. We must live for God and we're going to go
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a great day, okay?
Have a blessed one, darling.
All right. Hey, folks, that's where we come to the end of To The Point for today. I want to thank all who contributed this morning, whether it's via phone call, the comments you made via the social media platform, whether it's the Facebook or the YouTube channel, you made comments there. Thank you so much. We're going to have to wrap the program up for today. Thanks once again. Join me again tomorrow, once the Almighty permits, health, strength, and everything else in between. Suddenly we'll be here to entertain another program for you. Thanks once again, all who contributed some way or the other. Bye for now.